Yo, what's up, guys? This is Isaiah, and tonight I just need to unleash right now. I need a vent. A big news just broke. The New York Knicks are expected to fire president of basketball operations Phil Jackson. Um, here's my take on it. You all of you that are wanting Phil Jackson's head, wanting him to be fired, should be ashamed of yourselves and embarrassed. The only reason why that you guys are all trashing Phil Jackson. You guys shouldn't be trashing him. You should be trashing James Dolan. Listen. First of all, listen. I know Phil has made stupid moves. Okay, signing Joakim Noah to a 4-year, $72 million contract was the most bullshit thing ever. Okay, fine. People make mistakes. Okay, we're good with that. Let me explain. Stephen A. Smith, Max Kellerman. You guys talk about J.R. Smith. Phil Jackson traded J.R. Smith, Iman Shumpert for a box of cookies. Like, basically nothing. Well, guess what? Maybe their value wasn't that good. Maybe nobody wanted a J.R. Smith or an Iman Shumpert. J.R. Smith, I know he's good now, but back then, what he was known for was a guy, he was like Nick Young. He was a guy known for shooting threes, and he was a guy known for not playing defense and having a terrible attitude. And Iman Shumpert, he was coming off a torn ACL and wasn't really looking like himself before he was traded. So that's probably why their values wasn't what they were, and that's exactly probably why Phil Jackson got nothing in return for them. Let's talk about Tyson Chandler. Tyson Chandler, his value, nobody wanted him because he had a big contract. He had he had a big contract, and the fact that was he was old and he was getting injured. He was old, man. So nobody really wanted him. So that's why Phil gave him for a box of cookies. Back to my point, though. All of you that want Phil Jackson fired should be embarrassed and shame on you. Because here's why. Phil Jackson is an 11-time NBA champion as a coach. Even though he has done some stupid things as an executive, first of all, some of the things aren't his fault. Hiring Derek Fisher was actually a good move, and even though the Knicks didn't win, they were rebuilding. That's exactly why they didn't win. The reason Fisher got fired wasn't because of Phil. It was because he got into an altercation with Matt Barnes, which, as a coach, you can't do shit like that. So, I'm digressing here, but back to my point. Phil Jackson has not been given a chance to build the New York Knicks. He has had players such as a stupid Carmelo Anthony, who is the most pathetic ball hogger in the history of the NBA. He's the most selfish NBA player in history, which in Phil's offense, you don't. Kobe was allowed to be selfish stuff, blah, 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 and stuff, but he could make plays when it counted. Carmelo does not play defense. Carmelo does not play defense. He's getting old and injury prone, and guess what? Carmelo Anthony doesn't even share the ball. So, he's the most and he also has a bad attitude as well. So, Carmelo, get the hell out of New York. You being on the Knicks does no good for you, and it does no good for the Knicks. In fact, it hurts both parties. Secondly, Kristaps Porzingis. Everybody thinks Phil Jackson's crazy to trade Kristaps Porzingis. Well, guess what? No, he wasn't. The reason why he was listening to offers for Kristaps Porzingis I don't believe he was actually going to trade him. The reason why he was listening to him because Kristaps Porzingis skipped his exit meeting because he was mad at Phil Jackson for creating a dysfunctional environment. Well, Phil was just trying to send a message to Kristaps Porzingis, telling him who's the boss, and that this is exactly what's wrong with the NBA. Everybody said NBA is not competitive, blah, blah, blah. No, it's not. The reason why the NBA is so garbage these days is because the players run everything. The players run the show. When we were first born, we were taught that higher authority runs the show. That's how it was. Players never ran the show. If I were running a team, this is how it goes these days. LeBron James, oh, you don't like this? Blah, blah, blah. We're going to fire him. LeBron James, you don't like this? We'll trade his ass away. Well, you know what I was taught? LeBron James, you don't like this? shut your fucking mouth and deal with it, or get your ass back to Miami if you don't like it. Who gives a fuck if you don't like it? That's exactly what's wrong with the NBA these days. Phil was just trying to do something in the old days, which was to send a message to Kristaps Porzingis. And third, Max Kellerman, Stephen A. Smith, I love your show. I love First Take. I watch First Take every day. But I got a problem with you guys and all your Knicks fans. You guys are the most pathetic. You guys are the most pathetic, terrible, garbage fans ever. There's nothing that the Knicks do makes you happy. I get that the Knicks haven't won since 1973, but the problem is when the Knicks made the playoffs, you guys were still trashing them and saying they were a dysfunctional franchise like you guys are doing now. Like, when the Knicks won 54 games, you guys were like, oh, they always lose in the first round. They won 54 games. Why don't you appreciate that? The Knicks haven't won half that many games since then, and then now that's exactly what's happening to your team. So Phil Jackson is getting a raw deal. It's complete bullshit. Phil Jackson should be given a chance to get Carmelo Anthony out and see what he can do with a Carmelo-free team and build around Porzingis and others. And I believe that Phil Jackson's getting bullshit, and this is completely nonsense, and I would totally welcome Phil Jackson back to the Lakers, because he's the greatest coach of all time, he's the greatest basketball mind of all time, and I don't care what you guys say, Phil Jackson is the best, and he was bullshitted in New York.